And after the rumpuses and rows and recriminations of the last 3 months, we really could do with a classic football match breaking out tonight between these two great clubs. And I think, Andy, the really key thing is both of them have to win, don't they, in the big picture? I
think that's the one thing about this game that maybe we haven't had over the last few years, is that Sir Alex has been happy to come and settle for a point and disappear back up the M1, M6 to Manchester and be happy with that. I don't think that's the case tonight. You're absolutely right. They both believe if they lose tonight, they are out the championship race. All being so, I don't expect Ian to see two teams fly at each other from the first whistle. I think that they'll still show a healthy respect for each other when this game starts.
But what an atmosphere tonight at Highbury. It's been a tempestuous fixture with the chemical formula almost of nitroglycerine recently. But there have been some crackers as well.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of we owe you one about the game. Whatever anyone says about it, and it's not personal, it is personal. I think that there's no doubt Arsenal feel that they'd like to get this game. They've been waiting on it. They want to beat Manchester United badly for what happened up at Old Trafford. There's no doubt about that. This is a bit different from the ordinary game. Plus the fact United are so far back in chasing Chelsea that they too just need to win a game tonight.
A packed house, needless to say. It's been a cloudy night, there's been a little bit of rain about, but it's dry now. And the Arsenal fans have been told tonight when the teams emerge, I've never seen this before at Highbury, to show red and white flags that have been strapped to their seats to make Manchester United really know they're away from home.
Well, red and white would suit Manchester United.
Well, are they going to know the difference?
They might think at Old Trafford it was that red and white.
A few conversations going on down there in the tunnel at the moment, and a few raised voices. Well, what was going on there? Maybe more about that later, but Vieira being led away by the look of it by Pascal Segon.
Well, it's obviously got more heated earlier than we thought.
Highbury bathed in Arsenal red and white. Such a volatile mix here, and you've already had a taste of it. Arsenal, Manchester United, you know the history. What happens in the next 90 minutes? Let's give you the team news. Arsenal already without the fitness test on a back strain, but he's been past fit. Flomini gets the vote ahead of Fabregas in midfield, and the 5 players all rested in the FA Cup at the weekend. Almunia, Pires, Bergkamp, Lauren and Cole return here, and amid allegations of a secret meeting with Chelsea, Cole has told his manager he is committed to Arsenal. Roy Keane, Paul Scholes and Mikhail Sylvestre all return after missing the cup win over Middlesbrough, though Keane was banned for that game anyway. United are further boosted by the return of midfield man Darren Fletcher on his 21st birthday. He's had an ankle injury recently, and Ryan Giggs is okay as well, despite feeling his hamstring and going off in that cup win over Middlesbrough. Graham Poll, the man in the hot seat tonight. In October, of course, it was Mike Riley who had to make the contentious decisions about which we've been hearing for rather a long time. What happens tonight in the sequel? These two clubs do not yet believe they are merely battling for second place. And away we go. How will this evolve? It was a bit like a powder keg with the players in the tunnel beforehand. Here's Vieira, who was led away by Pascal Segon before the game even started. Flomini out wide to Ljungberg. Challenge was by Arsene, and already a free kick to Arsenal.
Well, I have to say, sometimes referees have a responsibility. He's given 2 fouls in 20 seconds. Now, whether he's just trying to calm it down, but I didn't think Fletcher did an awful lot wrong. Arsene gets his body in front of Ljungberg here, and whether he sticks an arm out to block him, that's what the referee says. The arm goes across the chest, the neck. Gives a free kick for it.
Inside a minute as well. Is there to be a dramatic start to this game as Bergkamp chips it in. Vieira, can he get on the end of it? Perez, play on, says the referee. No, he doesn't.
No, just got to be careful. Everyone's going to get down. Any touch now, we talk about it, especially tonight. Any players that get lent on, they feel an arm come across, anything like that, players are going to go down.
To say the atmosphere is tasty is putting it mildly.
Well, what makes this one so special tonight, whatever you think about it, there's also a little undercurrent here, I'll tell you now.
More than a little undercurrent, I'd say, Andy.
But they've been in situations like this, they know what it's all about, these players. The vast majority of them, of course, should be able to handle it.
Rio Ferdinand winning the header. Vieira on towards Bergkamp, who had a stormer and scored the winner in Arsenal's last time league game here against Newcastle. Vieira's free kick. Henry. Good move. Here's Ashley Cole. Keane didn't really control it. Cole goes down, and the referee says goal kick.
See what I mean? There wasn't even any contact there. I just wondered, as it got away from Roy Keane, I thought if he launches into this tackle, there's trouble up here. But he didn't launch into it, Keane, he stays on his feet. Well, that's ridiculous. He's a lucky boy. Nothing in his head, but just gone over there.
And Brian Barwick, the new chief executive of the FA, who's here tonight, has called for a tougher line on diving, hasn't he, as well? Taken quickly, the free kick. Ryan Giggs through to Almunia. Jeff Shreves has news on that tunnel verbal crossfire pre-match.
Yes, Ian, Graham Poll has already been called into action. There was some sort of confrontation between Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira in the corridor immediately outside the dressing rooms. He sprinted up there to try and defuse it, and before the teams went out, he said to both captains, leave it in here, no more.
Perez was blocked on his way through. Flomini helps it on. His Bergkamp, and his Ljungberg getting it behind, and a great piece of work by Roy Carroll.
Well, there's that one I talked about. Freddie Ljungberg coming from outside to in. Hugely effective and hugely threatening. Just what the goalkeeper, if you're either goalkeeper wants, you want a bit of action, you want to do something well early in a big night like this. Roy Carroll has done.
Manchester United unbeaten in 13 matches after their indifferent form at the start of the season. Really good run, including a recent win at Liverpool. Scholes, lovely ball out wide. Now here's Ronaldo. Took to deflection, that'll be a corner.
Well, we could see that. He had Gary Neville on the outside, could have used him, could have played him in. Shot never really looked on, if I'm honest. Players in his way. That was a lovely change of play. That'd be the feature of what Manchester United will try and do, is to pass it about midfield and then spread it left and right if they can.
Giggs' corner, away by Vieira for Arsenal. A lot of frustration about what happened at Old Trafford in the Arsenal ranks. Bergkamp. Good little touch, so this was there then. Rio Ferdinand. I'd say I've seen the Arsenal pitch in better shape than this, Andy.
Yeah, it's not been his best season. But it's wet, it's flattish, and because it's damp and wet, it's not so likely to be as bumpy.
Now Lauren is saying that he took an elbow. This might be a long and difficult night for Graham Poll, but he kind of knew that beforehand.
Yeah, of course he did. What does he expect? No contact in this game whatsoever. And that's the problem the referee's got. Every single player on both sides is going to be arguing, yeah, you got caught. But he get caught in an accidental clash. And that happens. It is a physical game.
This is Seagull. Been through a fitness test earlier on. Cole. Now Perez. Cole trying to get on the end of this, but Gary Neville gets there, and another free kick is given, this time to Manchester United.
That's generous again. It really is. I don't know whether Graham Paul's got on his mind that any contact early on, I'm just going to try and defuse the game. Whether it works, I don't know, but it certainly looked a generous free kick.
He's stamping on everything early on here to try and lower the temperature. 6 fouls in 6 minutes and counting.
That was something. Otherwise we're on route for 90.
Or more. Well, Graham Paul refereed this game last year, Andy, and there were only 2 yellows. I'd give you 1,000 to 1. It's only 2 tonight. Now then, Bergkamp with a lot of space. He's got Henry there waiting. Here's Perez arriving. Now it's Thierry Henry, and a great block by Ferdinand.
They just took a little too long. Gave them a chance, they've got an opportunity. Sylvester gets on the wrong side. They've always got 3v2, and it doesn't quite happen quick enough. Ferdinand does a decent job there.
Battle has really struck now.
He's marked tight enough. Just for a moment I wondered if Arsene had gotten the touch on this. It's Arsene that's trying to mark him from the back post to the middle of the goal. They both go in, but it's the height advantage. Patrick Vieira doesn't out-jump him, he just muscles him. It's as simple as that. Muscles him out of the way. Watch this. Look at the tussle there. It's hardly a jump at all. Time and time I talk about it. If you don't put people on the posts, this happens. Back post, drops in, you lose a goal. What a start for Arsenal. And I tell you, just what the game needed.
After only 7.5 minutes. Well, Arsenal had made the faster start, and they're ahead. Vieira, who's been in good goal-scoring nick lately, scoring it. What can United do about this? This is Scholes, hustled out of it by Freddie Ljungberg.
That's going to be a feature of the match. Both sides, pressure, pressure, pressure. Midfield, if it drops down there, someone's going to be in your face.
It's up towards Rooney. Cole with some defending to do. Fletcher's in there with him as well. Just for a moment there, you wondered.
He was a little unsure, I think, where Fletcher was. Could have bounced anywhere. Bounced in his favour for Ashley Cole. Often great games, potentially great games, often become great games because of one thing, an early goal. We have that.
Scholes with the corner kick. Thierry Henry doing the defending on the near post.
I'm just looking at Arsenal, they've got 2 on the post here, with Cole in the front, and I think it's Freddie Ljungberg on the back there. I always think, in a game like this, you do that, you have to. You've got Cole off the front.
Fletcher. Seagull getting it away for Arsenal, who will be hugely boosted by that goal, of course. This is Cristiano Ronaldo. Arsene. Perez, and Arsenal looking to break quickly with Vieira. Couldn't quite pick up Bergkamp's run because Sylvester was there. Ljungberg. They're on fire at the moment, Arsenal.
Well, they've come out the traps. Thought that might happen. Manchester United, their job's been to stem it. They haven't been able to do so. Talked a lot about Patrick Vieira over the last few weeks, and I think he's not had, certainly at the beginning of his best season when he came back into the side, but certainly in the last 4 or 5 games, he's back to his majestic best. There's no doubt about that.
Manchester United have been keeping clean sheets almost for fun recently, but here after only 7.5 minutes in this massive fixture, they're behind.
I mean, they obviously rate Gabriel Ence as someone who marks, because invariably when I've watched Manchester United play, they stick him on the best header of the ball, on the biggest threat, and they did it again tonight. But the height difference was just too much for him in a confined area to deal with.
Ljungberg taking on Ence. Free kick.
Well, that's the first booking of the match. Just goes inside and he just blocks him off. He hasn't got any argument about that, or he can't have. And that's the one thing you don't want. This boy tackles, he gets stuck in, and he's now got the best part of 80 minutes to go.
And here's the free kick taken by Bergkamp. Seagon was in there, didn't quite get on the end of it. Here's Vieira again. Stands it up to the back post. Close to the goal line was Vieira when he scored with a header.
It's only 4 or 5 yards out, but you see that there's no great jump, there's no great leap from him. You know, he's just muscled in here, and Ence is trying to get there, and it drops perfectly for Patrick just to flick it with the head. It wasn't a towering leap that left the Argentinian stranded. He just muscled him out of it.
There'll be a few inquests, I would think, in the United dressing room about that one.
It's not about you can't get any closer to him. To be fair, if he did anything, he probably got too close, too intent and physically getting his arms around him instead of just claiming the ball.
Time a push by Bergkamp on Sylvestre, who got himself in a bit of a mess. There's no doubt Arsenal have been faster out of the traps. Sylvestre, the consolation for Manchester United is they have got a long time to do something about it. Pires. Ljungberg let it run, hoping it might pick up Lauren, but Ence was there. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Over on that left-hand side a lot so far, with Giggs switching to the right for the moment.
One fancy flick too many there.
Here's Gary Neville trying to pick up Fletcher's run. Made by Flamini. He's been in good form lately, getting the vote tonight ahead of Cesc Fabregas, the 17-year-old who has to make do with a place on the bench this time.
I think also in a game like this, I thought he got a little lost, Fabregas, at Old Trafford. And I think, Flamini is a bit bigger, a bit more physical, probably can do the defending job a little bit better. And that might just have favoured him. But you talk about opening goals in big games. 25 times they've played each other in the Premiership. Only twice has a team who lost the first goal come back and won.
Goal was caught by Giggs there, and Graham Poll again very, very quickly on the scene. He might have to join the United Nations before the night's out. Yellow for Giggs.
Well, if you go off your feet and you don't get there, which is what Ryan Giggs does, you're going to get booked. There's no real defence.
2 yellows already for Manchester United. And those players will have to watch their step now for the remaining 75. Pires. Arsenal here looking to make something of a statement, you feel, and Cole had got forward as well there. I thought there were signs in the recent game against Newcastle that Arsenal were getting back that old routine, that old slick passing, and they've started in the same way tonight. Scholes. Rooney so far has hardly had a kick.
Oh, he's hung his leg out there.
Yeah, no, he's had a kick now, all right.
Yeah, he just hung the leg out. The ball bounces up, and it's not so much a tackle as you hang a leg out, and you just catch him as it's coming down. Ball bounces up, and you can see Lawrence just going to play it back. Players do that, front men do that, they hang their leg out and it catches them on the way down. You see that, just rattles into his foot.
Graham Poll wants a word. Is it to be a third United booking? No, it's not.
No chance. They won't get booked for that.
Scored 2 absolutely sumptuous goals, didn't he, at the weekend against Middlesbrough?
Yeah, he did. One in the cup tie. But these are the games he was bought for. You know, if you're looking at Wayne Rooney and you're looking at their outlay on a young player, I sometimes think when they play this system, Manchester United, he's a little isolated. What's going to be interesting, I know it's so early, but it must be going through Alex Ferguson's mind at times, even this early. Should they not get back in by half-time, would he change it? He knows it's a game he's already said he has to win. Therefore, 2 goals are needed. Would he then change it? Would he put Saha up top alongside him as early as the beginning of the second half if the scoreline's still 1-0 in Arsenal's favour?
Well, it's an option they may have to think about, of course, as this goes on, if it stays this way. This is one towards Thierry Henry. Fletcher on his 21st birthday.
I thought he's going to pull the trigger. It's Middlesbrough all over, but no way. He just sees Giggs out the corner of his eye and drops it back to him. Whether this is going in, I don't know. But the deflection is hugely important for both teams. For United, it's joy. For Arsenal, the other.
We've got something going on here, all right, haven't we? And that is a heartbreaker for Arsenal, who dominated to that moment. Class goal, though. Fletcher. Rooney spinning away from Seagull into the space. It's still Rooney. Other players arriving now. And it was Ronaldo who got on the end of it. And suddenly, United spring to life.
Well, he left Seagull. He absolutely leaves him here. 2 options. I wondered if Ronaldo could have gone over it for Scholes, but it's yet to be hit. I don't blame him for having a goal. And this time the deflection favours Arsenal.
By Ljungberg, away by Sylvestre.
And they can go again. That's where the error is so important to them. When Lauren's gone forward and Ljungberg has, and they lose possession, and it goes back in there, and Patrick Vieira just trotted over.
Another free kick, but we've got some drama for you tonight at Highbury.
Yeah, they took a quick free kick, Roy Keane, but Ronaldo wasn't looking.
Scholes off the outside of the boot. Well kept in, wasn't it, by Gary Neville. Here's Giggs. Suddenly an extra spring in Manchester United's step. Bergkamp. That equaliser will have been cheered by Chelsea fans. Oh, that clearance by Armenia.
Almost.
Nearly judged out by Rooney. Now then, Ronaldo. Rooney again. Seagon had to win that. He did get the ball.
And that's twice now. Sol Campbell really cheaply has given the ball away.
Gary Neville. The mood has changed completely in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
That's a poor cross, poor choice from the full-back. Giggs has given him some stick, quite rightly, because he was on just to shove it to him wide. He knew he'd be in a game. He didn't think they'd hit back that quickly, but they have.
It's a rueful look from Arsene Wenger, who was moaning about all this Chelsea hype, as he called it, at the press conference yesterday. Well, Chelsea will be quite happy with this scoreline at the moment, but there might be more in this yet. Here's Bergkamp. Keane losing out. Bergkamp again. Perez goes down. Graham Poll says no penalty.
That's a penalty for me.
Oh, big goal.
That's a penalty for me. I don't think Sylvestre gets any of the ball. Got it wrong, the referee, and I have to be honest, I don't know if he saw much of it.
Meanwhile, here's Henry. You can't take your eye off this. Lovely touch. Ljungberg into a good area, but no red and white shirt there. Well, hugely contentious penalty at Old Trafford. Did Campbell really foul Rooney? What about this one?
Well, look at the referee's view of this. Now, there he is, as this Paul Scholes right in front of him, and he's trying to look round him. Nothing I've seen made me change my mind. That's a penalty.
And you called it straight away, and the replay did tend to underline that. The talking points are mounting.
Good. So often in these sort of games you get disappointed in what you're watching.
What next? Seagon. Bergkamp on the curl. Oh, he was looking for that top corner.
Yeah, they can't allow that. The only surprise here is that Dennis Bergkamp hasn't punished him. Can't allow him to get it, and let alone that. They can't allow him to control it, turn and kick the shot.
Giggs looking to re-find Fletcher. But possession was surrendered by United. United have only won here once in their last 8 visits. That was when Roy Keane scored both the goals. Remember that late winner from him? Oh, has he gone outside the area there?
He's out.
Roy Carroll.
He's out. Well, I guess it. Well, is it a booking? I mean, I think he's out. I mean, it's a dangerous thing he's done to be sprinting out like that, and then he's let out.
Yeah.
The ball's out. You can see the arms are out.
No card.
No card. Thought he might have got yellow.
No card, but a free kick in a very menacing position. And Arsenal have got 8 players forward. Bergkamp feints to take it. Now he does. Corner. Is this quite exciting enough for you?
I think there's more to come.
Perez with the Arsenal corner. Vieira got there again. This time he couldn't find the corner of the net. And that might be problems for Thierry Henry as he brings down Ryan Giggs. Just a free kick. Nearly 25 minutes gone, Andy. It's absolutely flown by, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been great. What you've got 2 teams who respect each other hugely, but have a system they play. And I've just said, right, that's what we're going to go and play. We're going to contest it against each other. And often when you see different systems on a pitch, and they play against each other, you do get entertaining games, and that's what's happening.
It's Ashley Cole. Amid so many headlines at the moment, of course, Cole, but he's told his manager that he is committed to Arsenal. And they expect him to sign a new deal soon. That's the word from the club. Flamini. Now Cole again. Well, it's all been at boiling point, but there's been so much to enjoy.
Yeah, there was probably less control in the tunnel just before kick-off. Certainly since then, the players have got on with the job in hand. They know that they've got to be responsible, they've got to be committed, they've got to contest this match, but they can't do things that are going to cost their team anything by that. I mean, doing something stupid and getting sent off.
It's all a bit tight. Gary Neville. These clubs with big Champions League appointments coming up as well. Manchester United against Milan, and Arsenal due to play Bayern Munich. Still believing there might be something in this championship race for them. They're really going to have to go, both of them. That's why they both want the points tonight. Out of play off Ainsley. Continues to keep Jens Lehmann out of the side. His first touch there just offered a hint of an opportunity for Giggs to close him down. Remember, Arsenal without Kolo Toure, second game of a 3-game suspension for him after his little conflagration with Alan Shearer. Fletcher just leaving his legs in a little there with Perez.
Perez is the one that the referee actually wants a word with. I think there was a little reaction after the tackle.
Rooney and Perez continuing to argue while Graham Poll is talking. They're just underlining the relations between these two sets of players seem to be on the...
That's a kick at Fletcher, that's what the referee saw. And that's why he's got a yellow card.
First Arsenal yellow of the night. Now Rooney's being called over. What for, he's saying.
Now, the trouble here is, if he books Rooney, he would have to think he's going to have to book Perez again. You see, that's the dilemma. They were having a little rabbit with each other. A verbal rabbit.
And Graham Poll thought better of it in the end. I thought he was going to book him.
Well, he had the card out for already booking Perez.
Campbell, meanwhile, wanted by Rio Ferdinand. Helped on by Lauren. This is not forward towards Thierry Henry. Mikhail Sylvestre got there first for Manchester United. This time Gary Neville and Scholes with a nice cushioned little layoff to Roy Keane. Manchester United won recently at Anfield using this very system, but Arsenal are playing at a much faster tempo than Liverpool did that day.
Yeah, they've used this for quite a while now, so Alex Ferguson's side.
Being pressed all over the pitch. The United players, their central midfield three not really being allowed to settle on it or dictate as they did at Anfield for long periods that day. This is Cristiano Ronaldo. Lauren's good tackle.
Well, everything's getting cheered tonight, isn't it?
Well, some people have tried to downgrade the significance of this game with the big picture of the title race this year, but there is no such thing as a meaningless game between these two. Ferdinand. On by Rooney. Giggs trying to break him behind, and Almunia had to think quickly. Rooney touch being booed by the Arsenal fans. Keane. This is Ainsley. It's been such a really good signing for Manchester United.
This is when they pass it, Manchester United. You do force Arsenal back in, and Dennis Bergkamp has to drop off the play to give him that extra man there. Balance it out.
Rooney's ball to Fletcher. Rather let the movement down. But here he is using that pace over the first 5 yards again. It's Rooney, and his confidence is high at the moment. He's already in double figures in terms of goals for his new club.
No, it's not for me to tell Pascal Sigan, but I just thought you're left-footed, you're right down in your own corner flag. You've got a little bit of time, you just get it down the line. But he tried to be fancy. They tried to beat Rooney.
Manchester United take it quickly. Gary Neville. It's Giggs. And Pires is back defending.
He didn't want it back, Ryan Giggs. He worked a quick corner. And what he's saying to Gary Neville is, why don't you just whip it in? Players were there. Don't give it back to me.
Here's Bergkamp. Vieira is dispossessed by Cristiano Ronaldo, who goes to ground, and surely that's a Manchester United free kick.
Yeah, it is. As soon as Ronaldo get in front of Patrick Vieira, he knew he was always giving a free kick away. But they've been guilty of that a few times. Sol Campbell a couple of times, Patrick Vieira there, of really losing possession because of good pressure from Manchester United within 30 yards of the goal.
Well, the good left foot of Gabriel Ainsley might be an option here, although there are several in on the plot for Manchester United. And it is what Graham Paul described in a newspaper article recently as a ceremonial free kick, which means he has to blow his whistle. He's been involved in a couple of controversies over this sort of thing this season. Now he has blown it. It's Ainsley! Ooh! And it whistled about a yard wide, I think.
Yeah. Always fair. Talk about a goalkeeper's reaction. Almunia knows this is well wide. Doesn't really trouble him. I'm not so sure how a linesman can give a free kick there when the referee's looking right at it and doesn't give it. It's a strange one. I get a bit too busy at times.
Ralph Bone, the official concerned on that occasion. There's one or two controversies of that nature recently, most notably down at St Mary's at the weekend. Sylvestre. Pires on towards Henry, who's gone 6 games without a goal, which is truly amazing.
He might just get booked, you know.
Well,
yeah. I think in another game he might just have booked him. He's bounced the ball in frustration. It's an act of dissent, really, isn't it?
but he didn't throw it away. But I suppose it was borderline.
But no, you don't want to see everyone booked for every little misdemeanor, that's for sure.
Otherwise everybody's going to be on a red card before too much longer. 3 yellows so far. Arsenal's free kick. Here's Vieira.
Great move, Flamini's movement, all important. He joined in really high up the pitch. And because of that, they were able to work. But look at Flamini. Now that shouldn't happen when they've got 3 in midfield. But I wonder about the goalkeeper. Through his legs. It's the power that beats him. But they'll pick the bones out of that one again. Because the goalkeeper's beaten on his near post behind it and thrashes it. Exactly what was required.
Well, it was a lovely move, although Roy Carroll will be asking himself some questions that seem to go through him, as Andy was saying. And Bergkamp, after a goal drought, has now got 2 in 2 league games. And Arsenal are back in front again. It's been some half, this.
It's been a little quiet for a little while in the game because Manchester United were probably just in the ascendancy, enjoying a bit of possession. But the noise level's just been turned up again.
The Arsenal fans celebrate around Highbury. Sylvestre under a bit of pressure from Bergkamp. Now it's Giggs. Fletcher's header. Cut up by Pires, who's getting back a lot to help his defence tonight. All hands to the pumps for Arsenal. Rooney. Vieira doing the covering. Rediscovered his form a little bit of late, Patrick Vieira. He was excellent in that win over Newcastle recently. Well, can Manchester United find another response? Sylvester for Manchester United. Roy Keane. Now Sylvester again up towards Rooney, playing up there on his own. Support from the midfield players as and when they can. Ronaldo and Giggs either side of him. Keane. Rooney goes down, gets straight back up again, and Pires breaks. Good turn of pace, not a lot of support. Some arriving now in the shape of Cole. Six minutes to the break. Lovely piece of work to find Thierry Henry. Cole again.
Well, if he could get a foot on that, Robert Pires, there was a chance for him.
Here's Scholes. He's been in good goal scoring nick as well lately, Paul Scholes.
Well, gives a quick chance to look at that again. And I say about Flamini, his presence in there really did influence what went on. That was just foot behind it, hit the target and hope, and that's exactly what he did, and he got his reward.
Through the goalkeeper's legs, Dennis Bergkamp, whose family named him after Dennis Law, a Manchester United legend. They got the spelling wrong. Two N's in Bergkamp, only one with Law, of course.
I thought you meant between Law and Bergkamp. Sorry, I was going to say, yeah, they got it very wrong, didn't they? There's only 3 letters in Law.
Here's Bergkamp. Trying to get it straight to Roy Keane. Seagon's interception, but Giggs finds Rooney, who's got the wrong side of goal. It's Wayne Rooney with a chance of an equaliser, and Almunia performed the heroics.
There lies a difference. Almost identical chances, but if anything, Rooney's is easier. Great ball from Giggs, first time, and this is easier. He's got less of an angle, more to hit. The goalkeeper makes a big save in this match.
Massive moment that. Giggs towards the near post, flicked on by Keane. Sylvester and Ferdinand are in there waiting. Now they've got to get back. The brake's on. It's Henry. He's got Bergkamp if he can find him, and the flag goes up.
Oh,
the flag goes up.
That is close. That is close. He tried to hold his run. He says no way. He had a long look at the official.
Well, they were nearly suckered there, Manchester United, by a classic Arsenal fast break. But United so close to an equaliser. Ronaldo's offside this time.
Bergkamp's is the one. He's can you see it? Now look at Gary Neville. Now look at the lines on the pitch. He's not offside. And the linesman's way back. Trouble is, he can't keep up sometimes. And then he has a long look at it. The flag went up. That definitely went in Manchester United's favour.
Glenn Turner making that big decision. Bergkamp again, who looks full of it. Bergkamp! Oh! It was wonderful work from Bergkamp, and this time Carroll denies him. He thought he had his shirt pulled.
Brilliant.
Look at this, Rooney again, and there's an infringement. Was there a bit of a hand in there?
Yeah. just helped it forward.
And he's saying Rooney, yellow card on a kind of totting up process on the night.
I think he's been fussy, the referee. Hugely fussy. 3 free kicks, and he books them. All the defenders on the pitch better be wary, that's all I can say.
It's the 20th yellow card of Wayne Rooney's embryonic Premiership career. But hang on, he's giving the referee a few verbals. Gary Neville's coming in to argue.
Well, what he's saying is, just said, I could lip read it, last warning.
And he's
telling 5 fouls,
he's telling Roy Keane he's got to cool it.
He's young, he's fiery, but he has to have a responsibility in a game like this that he doesn't leave his team a man short.
Rooney just has to button it at this moment. And he was very close to talking himself in the general direction of a red card there.
Well, it's one of those sort of games where you don't really want half-time, certainly if you're a neutral, because it's just crackling stuff. It's just rattled along. But I think Alex Ferguson might, just to calm down his star player, have a little word with him in the dressing room and emphasise the importance of this game. Now he must keep his head, because he's on the edge, Rooney, there's no doubt about that.
It's feisty, dramatic stuff. Flomini, the latest player to be fouled, and Arsenal get a free kick with half-time approaching. It's been a terrific first half. This is football at the sharp edge. Lauren on towards Henry.
No, he's not looking to score. I think he's just looking to help it on. But just earlier on, this magnificent skill. We talk about him. Yes, he may be, 35 years of age, but look at that. He has to out-muscle someone. 2 of the most sublime touches. You can't do that if you're an ordinary footballer. You just don't have it in your locker.
And he's really in very, very good form at the moment, Dennis Bergkamp. Arsenal with a crucial 2-1 lead. But you just wonder where all this is going tonight. It's been that kind of game. Here's Vieira. Just took his eye off the ball for a moment and was caught by Rooney. Play on, says the referee. Rooney is walking a tightrope a bit at this stage.
I tell you, he asked the question there. And the referee certainly went in his favour. It looks like he just swings a leg at this. And does he catch Vieira? The answer is no. So then you ask why.
Is Vieira still down?
You swung the leg, but it takes that slow motion before we can see. So the referee certainly got it right, but unless he's twisted himself or twisted an ankle in landing, there's no reason why the Arsenal skipper should still be there.
The Arsenal players will be aware of Rooney's situation with the referee, of course, Andy.
You better believe they're fully aware of it.
Yeah. 3 minutes of added time. We're due to play. There'll be a bit more of it now with this injury. And as Andy said, it's a first half really from a neutral point of view. There aren't many of those in here, mind you, that you don't want to end. Talking to Rob Stiles, the fourth official, Sir Alex. Of course, the Premier League telling the two rival managers that, well, they say it best when they say nothing at all. Certainly the build up to this game anyway.
Disappointing. This last 30 seconds has been a bit flat.
It's really got dull, hasn't it? We're in stoppage time. It might be just about the busiest night of Graham Poll's life, this so far. That's Campbell getting away. Bergkamp. Lovely looking ball too towards Ljungberg, who was muscled out of it by Rio Ferdinand, but at the expense of an Arsenal corner, and United can't afford to let in another one here.
They've looked a little shaky from set plays, from corners in particular, and if you're Arsenal you'd be thinking, get loaded in there, get players in. I'm really surprised that likes of Campbell and company haven't gone in there.
It's Henry, it's Perez, and it's Sylvestre who gets it away, only as far as Lauren. Again, it kicks up on that far side. Ronaldo goes to get the ball back. This game is just simmering all the time, you feel. Henry and Ronaldo. I said Graham Poll might have to join the United Nations. He might have to become the Secretary General before this is out.
Yeah, I think there's a bit more to come second half. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, Sylvestre loitered without too much intent on the ball, and there goes the half-time whistle. The Arsenal fans celebrate Dennis Bergkamp's strike, the difference between the sides. 2-1 went between Roy Carroll's legs. It was a very, very good Arsenal move, and that was after Ryan Giggs had equalised for Manchester United. Patrick Vieira with that early goal for Arsenal. It's been dramatic, tempestuous stuff here, just like we thought it would be. And at half-time, it's Arsenal 2, Manchester United 1.